really in 2024, heading into the second half of this decade, serious companies are looking seriously when it comes to tracking systems in logistics. They're looking at new innovations. I've had a look around for like more graphics, photos, any more product information, and there's hardly anything there at all. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Position Update. My name is Matthew Holland, and in this episode, what we're doing is reviewing two product launches, one by Tive, the other by Roambee. Tive have launched what they call Tive Solo Light Tracker, very much a stripped back device, removed some sensors, repackaged it, put it in a new enclosure. Roambee, on the other hand, have gone very different. They're sticking with a smart label, and they seem to have done something which no one else has managed to do so far, which is put 5G connectivity in there along with GPS and a whole suite of sensors. So feel free, looking forward to getting some feedback. Put your opinions below, send me messages, let me know what you think. And see you on the next episode. So we'll just take a look at the product announcement that Krenar Kamoni did, the CEO of Tive. And then we'll look at a couple of other pieces of content that came along with the launch. Okay, let's go. Let's hear from Krenar Kamoni.
You get the picture. Solo Light is a lighter tracker. Solo Light has less features than the Solo 5G. And we've been very careful on deciding what features to keep on the Solo Light. Solo Light also has a transparent case, and the reason is because we wanted to reflect our company's most important value, transparency first. And we want this clarity of culture to resonate and capture all the supply chains of the world. In addition, Solo Light is reusable, and we've upgraded to USB-C cable to reduce waste and also rely less on the old micro USB cables. Tive Solo Light comes both in lithium here and the non-lithium version here, same as our Solo 5G. And what's exciting is that Tive Solo Light is very easy to recycle. As we continue to unlock this ground truth data, we have only one goal in mind. We want to help you and your team run the best-in-class supply chains. So please feel free, reach out to tive.com, contact us, book a demo. We would love to show you our new product, Solo Light. And I think it's just a beautiful tracker. Thank you.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, I actually do think Tive make pretty devices. Blue color is always a winner. But they've gone transparent. So this has a transparent top half of the case by the looks of it, because the company wants to be transparent. I don't think there's anything new in that. I think Frigga cold chain trackers have some transparent enclosures. But what is lighter about it? So it seems it's stripped back from a functionality point of view. We'll take a little closer look at the tech specs because they are out there. Krenar talks about it being affordable. Does that mean it's cheaper than a Solo 5G product? And is talking about reusability. So I don't think he said the word single use there, but he may have done. Anyway, let's take a look at this. This is some CGI that Tive launched as well, along with Krenar Kamoni's video. That bass is really good, by the way. I recommend listening to it through a good pair of headphones. There was a bit of creative that came along with the launch. I've noticed kind of bits of food rotten, and then fresh, I think strawberries. This one's cheese. Um, so it sounds or looks like this is a product aimed at Tive's core market, which is perishable food shippers. So growers, retailers, logistics companies moving product down cold chain, perishable cold chain between producer, manufacturer through distribution to a retailer with a view to getting on top of the spoilage problem, which pretty big, leads to a lot of waste in global food supply chain. That is Tive's core market, and especially in the United States. So this is not a product for pharmaceutical critical cold chain. It's not something for clinical trial supply chains. It's probably also there's some kind of other markets that it could be used in where perhaps um, temperature data is not needed, but location data is needed for security. So maybe some shipment security applications, high value electronics, manufacturing, um, perhaps some of those use cases. Let's take a look at the specs. So this is the Solo Light Lithium. It seems to perhaps go up to 60 degrees Celsius, which is maybe a little bit higher than other type devices. LTEM with 2G fallback. So it seems like they've built this on a different modem, or they're just not using perhaps the ability to use 5G, and 2G fallback is always useful, especially in Europe. Singular multi-use, and if we look over here, so location technology, cellular, and Wi-Fi geolocation. There's no GPS on there. Doesn't look like there is any Bluetooth. So what does this mean? So no GPS. So this is a little bit like Tive had a 2G tracker, which behaved just like this. It was cellular plus Wi-Fi, but it was just 2G. So they've gone back to that kind of device. And the advantage of that is obviously it's probably a cheaper board, and also it uses less power. However, I have seen something saying that Wi-Fi geolocation utilizes just as much power as trying to get a GPS fix. So this is it. The non-lithium is going to have a slightly different battery and a slightly less battery life, but does seem to have a longer shelf life. So, what do I think about the Tive Solo Lite? Yeah, I think obviously it's from a form point of view, it's different from a normal Tive device in that a normal Tive device is usually on the vertical axis, and they've gone with some transparency to show what's inside it. I kind of think that's an interesting move. Like, kind of watch makers sometimes, make a see-through dial or whatever to see what's inside. I'm not quite sure if it works within tracking devices. It may do. I kind of just think overall it's what I would describe as a new old device. By that, what I mean is, from a functionality point of view, there's nothing new in there, and in fact, it's old. It's I've got devices 15 years old that do the exact same thing, and probably more actually. I think maybe stripping back and lightening the device makes the buying decision easy for the customer. In that, I know myself is a situation can be where a customer says, "Well, I just want tracking and I just want tracking and temperature. I don't need all the other stuff like shock, humidity, tilt. And they feel like they're paying for it when it's something that they don't use. So it could be that it strips out some of that resistance in the sales process. Really, in 2024, heading into the second half of this decade, serious companies are looking seriously when it comes to tracking systems in logistics. They're looking at new innovations, and that is in battery life and in positioning technology and in resolution of sensor data, and then getting that data back and using automation and AI. It's all about new features and functions that are unlocking new use cases, as well as obviously price is an important factor, but it's actually not everything. If you can unlock a high value use case and prove ROI, sophisticated devices are going to be very popular. So I think this device may work in terms of something for Tive's existing customer base, which are mainly in food, retail, and temperature sensitive, perishable items moving out of Latin America to the USA or maybe out of Europe or within Europe, short journeys. So, yeah, I think it would be interesting to see. I'd be interesting to play with it, but I don't really expect I would see anything different than I have done from when I was working at Thai for a year and a half. It would just be the exact same kind of product. Okay, so we've got a second company that has launched a product this month. It's Roambee. Certainly, they compete in the same space as Tive, and they've launched something very new. Let's take a look. We're excited to launch the world's first 5G GPS pick. Oh no, stick, heel, ship smart label. We've got GPS and Wi-Fi tracking, NIST calibrated sensors for temperature, humidity, shock, and light. Looks like Mondelez are using it. So, supply chain intelligence powered by its smart label technologies enables us to analyze and respond to real-time historical trends by lane, transporter, seasonality, and more. The disposable smart label works for single journey applications and offers enterprises previously unseen levels of real-time visibility into secondary distribution networks. Yeah. All right. Direct to customer deliveries, last mile. So you've got a last mile here and you've got middle mile there. Well, let's finish it off. I'll come back to it. Comprehensive product flow insights where traditional reusable trackers fall short. Read full press release here. We'll take a look at that in a second. 5G tags, prototype processes, and the design of batteries. Are you proposing to contaminate recyclable cardboard packaging with a battery that will likely burst into flames? In fact, just as I'm recording this, there's been a lithium battery incident in South Korea, I believe. A lot of lithium batteries have exploded. Hope everyone's okay. All right, so a lot of reactions there. Let's take a look at. Well, let's have a quick look at this. I don't think there's any sound. All right, stick it, peel it, ship it. All right, so this looks like it's some kind of magnetic connector there. It's switching the device on as it's peeled off. You've got an LED flashing there. That looks quite interesting. All right, let's look at the press release. Nothing new from a media point of view. We could click on this picture. Roambee ground. I mean, it looks very prototypish. So, the introduction of Roambee Smart Label, potential game changer in efforts to safely deliver our customers' important package. This is from Yamamoto Transport in Japan. There is nothing in this press release that deals with the question of um, how the power battery is disposed of, how the label's handled after it's been used. So this is a single-use product. That's not a reusable device, and it's seemingly left on the cardboard. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, so look at the FCC website and let's see what is there from a filing point of view. So it looks like this is all very new. Let's take a look at internal photos. So this is the label. Yeah, there's the battery, 1800 milliamperes, 3 volts. This is the module. This looks like a antenna. Let's take a look at the external photos. So here's the label. So this is like a backer. So it seems the way this works is there's a card. This is like a cardboard backing piece, and the label goes on top of that. And then this is all the way as an activation process. It looks like it's called the B-Sense label. So whenever this was filed, that was the name of it. So yeah, you're looking at something which is 20-ish, just under 20 centimeters long, 11 centimeters wide. Looks like the data sheet for the tracker. Temperature, motion, shock, data, events, LTE 2, so 2G fallback, GPS, battery, system status, IP rated using a eSIM interface. So measurement interval is 6 minutes. That's the minimum it can do. So quite interesting. Doesn't do anything more than that, but 6 minutes, okay. Up to 16G on the shock detection. -30 to +70 temperature range. That's interesting. Humidity, 3-point NIST calibrated, and aviation compliance there. From a technical point of view, yeah, so we've got an 1800 milliampere battery, 10 to 50 days on a single charge, depending on cloud reporting interval. Not rechargeable. 4G, LTE 1, GSM, global, internal, and it's using GPS, GLONASS, Beidou, Galileo. Okay, there's no Bluetooth in here, from what I can see. Looks like an interesting product, very different from the Tive Solo Lite. Okay, here's a post 3 weeks ago by Sanjay Sharma, CEO at Roambee. Get ready for a revolution in how you see and manage your product flow. Reusable trackers from Tive, SensorTech, and others give better real-time data, but are only practical for shipments where these devices can be retrieved at the destination. What if we could have it all? We've created a unified visibility platform, multimodal, no matter the mode of transportation or the type of supply chain network. Roambee has you covered. Imagine monitoring products within your facility, ensuring deliveries reach customer locations and tracking shipments with pinpoint accuracy, all from one platform. Interesting. So this is quite a strong pitch from Sanjay Sharma there. I couldn't see anything from a positioning technology point of view that would make this device any more accurate than a tracker from any other company, actually. So I'm not sure about that. There's no 802.11 Wi-Fi from what I can see. So it's not or cell location. So it's not even more accurate from that point of view. What we've got from Roambee is smart label. It's got hierarchy positioning in there, or GPS for sure, and cellular connectivity on 5G. So that is quite interesting. It looks kind of still prototype-ish. I've had a look around for like more graphics, photos, any more product information, and there's hardly anything there at all. Obviously, there's nothing public on price. If I were to guess the price on this label, I would say it is $30. Well, I'm only guessing, but I mean, if it was in that ballpark, what you've got to do as a buyer is it's all about cost per shipment as to whether you track a shipment. Especially if this is single use, then it makes that calculation a lot easier because you know what you're paying for the technology. Yeah, it would be good to see whether this smart label is in mass production. Be good to get some understanding as to demand for it. It would be good to get some answers with regard to the disposal of the battery, the PCBs, the hardware, like how they're treated once a box has been delivered and it's reached its endpoint. I mean, all of these are questions which Roambee's sales team are going to have to answer, and it can really hold things up. Trying to overcome all these questions and be convincing about answers to it. It can stop. So I mean, the idea of a smart label is great, and there are smart labels out there that are not as functional as this one. Yeah, it's what happens to really get it out there and get traction in the marketplace, and being able to answer the question on sustainability and treatment of the materials when the device is finished with is important, which is why the use of the word disposable always difficult. So, be good to keep an eye on this one. See what else is out there. I know there's another company very active in this space with smart labels, and I'm hoping to be talking with them soon. So they should be appearing on the podcast in a few weeks. So, I mean, in this episode, what we've done is kind of take two companies very much competing with each other, very much pursuing the same market with two very different device announcements. Tive, I think, played it a little bit safe with their Tive Solo Lite, but Tive do have quite a strong market position within perishables. I think with Roambee, a little bit more of an aggressive product announcement. Certainly a much more aggressive product that raises a few eyebrows because of the fact of how that smart label is connected. It looks a little bit prototypey. I think feel is everything. And if a device looks and feels flimsy and not well put together, it can be very off putting. So I'll be interested to see for real how that device is finished, how much it takes from a wear and tear point of view. We know in middle mile, things that get damaged is ridiculous. Boxes get thrown around warehouses, and whether the tracker, that smart label tracker, can withstand some of the treatment that gets handed out in the middle mile, that would be interesting. At the same time, the fact that it's got shock detection on it is very useful for detecting bad handling. So it could serve a purpose, but of course, the device has to survive the conditions and that environment to be able to transmit back its status information and its condition information. Okay, well, look, that wraps everything up for this episode. In the next couple of episodes, we're going to be speaking to people involved in animal tracking, something very different from logistics. And I'm also going to be launching a new series, GPS Tracking 101, mainly aimed at the logistics and supply chain world. kind of going back into some of the history of the technology, some of the history of the development of devices, and talking through some best practices and use cases, which I hope people will find useful. So until next time, see you.